As we predicted in the roundtable last week, pretty much right after we were done with that episode, all kinds of shit went down. Hey everybody, wanted to talk about something that happened late last week that I didn't get a chance to address, and that is the reports, albeit unconfirmed reports, that Rian Johnson will be writing and directing Star Wars Episode VIII and then doing some writing on Episode IX. Now that's, as I understand it, based on my loose understanding of how Roman numerals work. Now the Episode IX part of this rumor seems to be the fuzziest bit because it doesn't say he's going to be writing the screenplay, it says it might be some sort of outline or treatment or something like that, but the rumor does seem pretty clear about the fact that Episode VIII, for all intents and purposes, is going to be his movie. Now I guess that we shouldn't be that surprised that a guy of Rian Johnson's sort of stature in the business is getting to do this movie. Gareth Edwards and Josh Trank are both getting Star Wars spin-off movies, so clearly Disney doesn't mind giving guys with, fairly short resumes the keys to these big fancy cars that they got. I mean, just look at what they're doing with Marvel. And this trend of giving guys like that these big tentpole movies, it's kind of a hit and miss trend. Back when Bryan Singer did the first X-Men, he didn't have a lot of credits to his name. Same thing with Nolan and Batman Begins, same thing with Cuarón and the Harry Potter movie that he did, Prisoner of Azkaban, even right up to the Russo brothers doing Cap 2. Now none of these guys had many credits when they got the gig to do these big movies, but the credits they did have were really f***ing good. Now the same thing can be said for Gavin Hood when he signed up to do X-Men Origins Wolverine, so again, it's not always a can't miss kind of thing. But the thing that really excites me about this is the idea that they're getting a really fun, interesting voice into the main Star Wars saga, not just the spin-off movies. JJ Abrams makes movies that are just a ton of fun. He's a big, commercially safe choice, and you know what you're gonna get. I bet that Episode 7 is gonna be extremely JJ good, which means we're all gonna go to the theater, we're gonna have a blast watching it, we'll have a great time together, and then we're gonna leave and we're gonna go, wait a minute. So what JJ is good at is building worlds. That's why he's such a good TV producer. Star Trek from 2009 is great. It's got some holes. It's not strictly in keeping with the traditions of Star Trek, but it's super fun, and the world's a good place to live for a couple hours. Now, Star Trek Into Darkness, you can't really say the same thing about Star Trek Into Darkness. What Rian Johnson exceeds at remarkably is mining these worlds for everything that they're worth. So look at Looper. In addition to being one of the most interesting sci-fi movies in, I don't know how long, you take this world where time travel is possible and the mob is using it for all these nefarious things, and he just squeezes every possible interesting thing out of that world. And then look at the Brothers Bloom. I think 5/8 of the Brothers Bloom is worth studying. It goes off the rails a bit at the end, but I still think it's really great. The world that these brothers live in is this kind of heightened, farcical type world, but the characters are all still very grounded and very real and very relatable. What starts about a story about these two brothers who are con men ends up being really warm and really charming, again, for like 5/8 of it. One of the Breaking Bad episodes that he did, The Fly, which is the one where there's just a fly buzzing around Walt's lab, it's so contained. It's essentially just taking place in this one room, but it winds up being one of the most fascinating episodes of one of the most fascinating shows in TV history. So, if these reports are true, and I really hope that they are, Disney is getting JJ to do what he does best, and then Rian Johnson to do what he does best. JJ is your safe bet to set up the franchise, and then Rian Johnson comes in and really dives deep into the world that's been created. Takes all the characters, all the motivations, even the day-to-day stuff that's going on in the background, and really finds the most interesting thing that's at the core of this story. And I think that Rian Johnson is going to take this to a much darker place than JJ would have ever thought to, which, if you go back to the original trilogy, Episode 4, 5, and 6, the second one is the dark one. So again, it makes a lot of sense in keeping with the Star Wars canon that this middle episode is going to be the one that leaves us all like, ugh. And that sounds great to me. It sounds great. So let me know what you think about it in the comments down below. Is Rian Johnson the guy? Are we actually a little surprised that it took this long for Rian Johnson to get one of these movies? I am. I'm honestly a little surprised he's not doing a Marvel movie. But click like and subscribe. Come back next time for more movie news on CineFix Now, and I'll see you then. I did pick an angry looking photo for a guy who's just getting to do a Star Wars movie.
I know.